A West Texas measles outbreak worsening by the day. The ongoing spread in small communities bringing the total number of cases close to 100. And as the bitter cold grips Central Texas, we learned one Austin ISD campus faces an issue when it comes to keeping its students warm. First, though, as Central Texas faces potential icing overnight, TxDOT crews are at work once again prepping the roads ahead of this wintry mix. We saw workers out brining and salting the roads as the cold mixed with some moisture could make for some dangerous driving tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Daniel Marin. Jennifer is off today. We're starting with Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannon. So, Nick, what can we expect?
Yeah, so some light icing, but not everywhere. There are going to be a lot of people that wake up tomorrow morning and the roads are just a little damp and they're wondering what the fuss is about. But there's the concern that in some areas, especially elevated bridges, elevated surfaces in general, that there could be a little bit of light icing overnight into tomorrow morning. National Weather Service have issued a winter weather advisory that begins in 1 hour at 6 p.m. and continues through 9 tomorrow morning. Although I expect that the icing concerns don't begin for another few hours, as our temperatures outside right now are still several degrees above freezing and may take some time to drop down to freezing, especially in the areas that we expect the drizzle to develop. There are some spots at freezing, like Burnett. You're at 32, but we're 4 degrees above freezing at 36 in Austin, 38 now in San Marcos, and mid to upper 30s in our eastern counties as well. So we've still got a few more hours until these numbers drop down to freezing. We're all dry on clouds and radar. It's going to take some time before the atmosphere moistens up, and as it does so, the temperatures will cool as a result. We'll go from 34 at 7 to 33 at 9 and down to about freezing here at 11. At the same time, our chances for drizzle go up, but they're still not particularly high at 11. But for those of you that have drizzle around 11 o'clock, there could be some slippery patches, especially on those elevated surfaces. So coming up in First Warning Weather, we'll take you through that icing risk tonight into tomorrow morning. Then an update on the rest of your weekend forecast, because it's not all icy, and we've got some spring warmth on the way for next week.
Right, Nick, thank you very much. Students and staff at Bowie High School have been feeling the cold for the past couple of days as the South Austin campus faces a problem with its heating system. Austin ISD confirmed this afternoon its operations team is addressing the problem. The district says the extreme cold pushed the system to full capacity. Austin ISD added some older buildings might not have as much insulation as others, meaning they may have trouble keeping temperatures consistent in extreme weather. Going in depth, this is not the first time Bowie High School has faced issues with heating and air conditioning. Last year, when students returned to school after winter break, temperatures dropped into the teens, and some Austin ISD said some schools, including Bowie, were having heating issues. But KXAN investigators dug up that Austin ISD some records showing that more than 4,000 work orders had been filed from the start of the 2023-24 school year until mid-February. Bowie High School topped that list with 35 HVAC work orders. Now Austin ISD has 17 targeted HVAC projects underway, including a large project at Bowie. A measles outbreak in West Texas continues to grow. The Texas Department of State Health Services now reports 90 cases have been identified since last month. It says 16 of those patients have been hospitalized. Only 5 cases are in vaccinated patients, while the rest are unvaccinated or the vaccine status is not known. Most of these cases have been reported in Gaines County, that's between Lubbock and Odessa, with 57 of those 90 total cases. Hayes County says a dead wild bird found in the northwestern part of the county has tested positive for bird flu. But the county health department says the risk to the public is still low. Though human bird flu is not very common, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 70 cases across the country with 1 death. The firings and layoffs continue across the country, and demonstrators are making their voices heard, but that hasn't stopped the Trump administration from making more cuts, this time at the Transportation Safety Administration. And as NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reports, this comes as the administration continues to say it's stopping government fraud without giving evidence of fraud.
We have a lot of weeks to
Today, President Trump defending his push to reshape the federal government, once again praising tech titan turned top advisor Elon Musk.
Doge, which is now waging war on government waste, fraud, and abuse. And Elon is doing a really good job.
Musk brandishing a chainsaw, revving up the crowd last night at a conservative convention.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Now his Department of Government Efficiency is shredding jobs at the Transportation Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service.
We are real people. We are not numbers on a spreadsheet, and we really need the American people to know that, and we really need Washington to know that.
Some of the firings not going over well for Republican lawmakers back in their home districts. Constituents sounding off at town halls.
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
If you're going to just yell at me, that's not going to be an effective tone.
Maybe if we didn't spend $250,000 an hour flying a guy around to sporting events, we could do a little better than that.
The president has also made diversity, equity, and inclusion a target of his executive orders, threatening Maine's governor if she doesn't comply with his order banning transgender athletes.
I'm complying with state and federal law.
Well, we are the federal law. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
The Trump administration says the rapid-fire moves are what the voters wanted, and more are on the way.
There should be no secret about the fact that this administration is committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse.
But so far, the administration has not provided any evidence of widespread fraud, which is a crime. The TSA says it laid off more than 200 workers this week. The IRS is expected to cut more than 3,500 jobs. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, the White House.
And going in depth, we told you the Texas House has created its own DOGE committee. In this case, DOGE stands for Delivery of Government Efficiency. The committee is made up of 13 members, 5 Democrats and 8 Republicans, including local state rep Ellen Troxclair. Well, people in Germany head to the polls on Sunday amid the country's worst economic crisis in decades. And the world is closely watching a surge of support for the far-right Alternative for Germany party, also known as AFD. Polls show it looks like the party could win the second largest number of seats in parliament. AFD is running on a populist platform, cutting immigration and restoring manufacturing. They have an endorsement from Elon Musk, who has spoken at their conferences, and also J.D. Vance, the vice president here in the U.S., has also made remarks signaling support for the party. At a recent event, some AFD supporters were spotted wearing red baseball caps reading, "Make Germany Great Again." Well, if you're looking to brave the hike and bike trail this weekend, keep an eye out for potential route changes. The Trail Conservancy says rolling detours will last through the end of this month. Maintenance repair led to the detours and reduced trail access. Those improvements take place just west of Lamar Boulevard. Also, work on the Longhorn Dam's Wishbone Bridge is causing various detours in that part of the trail since construction began last summer. For a look at the detours, just head on over to KXAN.com and click on this story. The Austin Parks and Rec Department shared the work it's completed throughout last year, to mitigate wildfire risk. The department says its land management team conducted 7 prescribed burns and nearly 800 pile burns throughout the area. The city says those pile burns removed more than 100 tons of biomass. Parks and Rec also spent last year taking measures to remove burnable vegetation in natural areas like the Barton Creek Greenbelt and Emma Long Metro Park.
This morning's freeze in Austin was our 15th of the winter. Typical average number of freezes in Austin is 12, so above average, although we're certainly heading for another freeze tonight, so looking for number 16 by tomorrow. Our high got to 38. We've got a warm up coming, but we've got to get through a limited icing risk.
Let's give you a live look right now at the Circuit of the Americas this afternoon as it prepares to host a weekend of races in the NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series. We're now just 1 week away from all of that action, and our Freddie Vela spoke to NASCAR racer Ross Chastain, who's looking to repeat his past success at COTA.
NASCAR is coming in hot to Texas on February 28th at the Circuit of the Americas, sees the return of the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix. And here to talk to us about his experience and the big race itself is a winner of the race back in 2022, Ross Chastain. Ross, thank you so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here, but you could have turned the heat up a little for me, man. I hope you've got it warmer when we come back for the race next week.
I promise it'll be much warmer. So Austin actually gave you your very first NASCAR Cup Series victory. Take us back to that moment. What did it feel like when you crossed that finish line?
Gosh, that was a monumental moment for Trackhouse, the team I drive for. That was their first win as an organization, and mine. My crew chief and spotter, we were all rookie I guess, competitors in our positions, and we accomplished the ultimate goal of winning in the Cup Series that day, and it felt like it was all worth it.
If people want to go check out this great event that's happening all weekend long, what's the best place to go to?
Yeah, so just get online, and NASCAR at COTA, I believe, is the website. But if you poke around, you'll find it, and we hope people do come out to the track and check it out. What's so cool about the road course is you can really see a lot of the turns by just walking around and see different areas throughout the races, and have a race on Saturday. I'll be in the Xfinity race as well in the number 9 car.
Awesome. Well, Ross Chastain, we can't wait to see you there. The winner of the 2022 Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix racer, Ross Chastain, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, sir.
And if you can't make it to the track next weekend, we've got you covered. Freddie will bring you morning coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series, and our Grace Reader will cover the afternoon and evening over on CW Austin. And ahead of the Austin FC season opener tomorrow night, hosting Sporting Kansas City at Q2 Stadium, the veteran named Ile Sanchez as team captain. The veteran joined the squad this year after winning the MLS Cup in 2022 with LAFC. His presence is something the gang discussed on Verde Lights, our weekly show focused on all things Austin FC.
Don't forget about Ile Sanchez, a guy that's proven himself in the league, somebody that I think is going to tremendously help Austin FC in that center midfield position. A team that didn't have much changes defensively, which I firmly believe that the defensive team wins the championship. Now you start adding offensive pieces, you start getting people that can score goals, you have options.
And Verde Lights is on CW Austin, and we're going to have a special airing, though, tomorrow morning on KXAN to get you started off this season on the right foot. You can check it out at 11 in the morning before heading to the game later on Saturday night. And how are we looking for the weekend, Nick? It's not off to a good start.
Yeah, at least for the Austin FC game tomorrow evening with that 7:30 kickoff, it'll be above freezing, but not by a lot. We'll just be in the 30s with some rain around. So if you're heading to the opener, bundle up in waterproof gear, please. All right, let's take you out to our Austonian weather camera, which is gray, but visibility still good. We're going to start seeing visibility come down as the development of drizzle starts to begin here later on this evening. I still think your early evening plans should be good to go. Even mid-evening's probably okay. Temperatures still several degrees above freezing in Austin right now. A lot of 30s throughout the state, though. Another chilly day, although a tad warmer than it was yesterday, but not by very much. This is how we expect temperatures to fall tonight. As the air saturates with moisture, the numbers will start to come down. And you can see that as we approach 9 o'clock and later, we'll be near and then below freezing during the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. And it's during this window of especially 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. as drizzle starts developing, it could freeze on contact with some of those colder surfaces. Now, if your surface outside your door perhaps is attached to the ground, I think it's going to be a warmer surface and there's not going to be any icing. But those elevated surfaces, mailboxes even, street signs, cars parked outside, they may get a light glaze of ice in spots. Then as we head through tomorrow, after 9, we go from 33 to 36 by noon and highs of about 39 in the afternoon. So less in the way of concerns for iciness tomorrow afternoon as we warm up. It is still going to be a chilly rain, though. So we're getting some of that moisture coming in from south to north, and the drizzle will be not too far behind it. No drizzle out there just yet, just a cloudy sky. You can see as that pinkish color starts to show up, very isolated by 8, 9 o'clock. This is the light freezing drizzle or regular drizzle, depending on where the air temperatures are where you are. Some of us, in fact, many of us will still be above freezing at 9. But as we fall below freezing overnight and the drizzle coverage goes up, that would be freezing drizzle and light freezing rain overnight and into tomorrow morning. Scattered in coverage, though, so not everybody gets freezing drizzle here tonight, but some of us do, and that's the concern. Past 9 o'clock as we warm up, we start to transition from freezing drizzle and freezing rain over to regular drizzle and regular rain. This is noon. Rain showers around, some drizzle around. Afternoon, similar sort of deal. It's all fairly light. And then as we get into tomorrow night, still a few lingering showers into early Sunday morning. And then Sunday will go from clouds in the morning and a couple of sprinkles to increasing sun in the afternoon. It may take some time, though, for the sun to come out where you are. So we're down to 31 tonight. Drizzle and freezing drizzle slowly develops. 30% coverage of that here tonight. We'll have a high of 39 tomorrow, but the drizzle and icing concerns in the morning will be something to pay attention to, but improvements in travel conditions later in the day as we warm up. Only late day sun on Sunday for most of us, unless you're in the hill country. Most of us will be waiting a while for the sun. Still going to be a much warmer day at 59. Not a lot of rain out of this, less than 1/10 of an inch for most of us. Our eastern counties may get between 1/10 and 1/4 inch of rain, but a portion of this rain comes as freezing rain and freezing drizzle, thinking most of those icing amounts will be near and south of Austin, 0.05 of an inch or less. And then look at this warm up, 59 Sunday, 70s beginning Monday, and we stay in the 70s every single day of next week. A lot of sunshine as well, especially Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Nick, thank you very much. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed revenge today after a body released by Hamas as part of the hostage exchange deal was not an Israeli mother of 2 small boys, as the militant group promised. The incident has raised new doubts about the future of the fragile ceasefire deal. NBC's Hala Garani reports from Tel Aviv.
Israeli authorities have said that the results of the forensic examination on the 2 Bibas children, those are the 2 children whose bodies were returned to Israel from Gaza yesterday, revealed that they were not killed, according to these examinations, in an airstrike as Hamas had claimed, and they were not shot either, according to Daniel Hagari, the spokesperson for the Israeli military. The 2 children were killed with, quote, bare hands, and this is coming after forensic experts said that one of the bodies returned yesterday was not that of Shiri Bibas, but of a woman from Gaza. The prime minister of this country, Benjamin Netanyahu, vowing, quote, revenge for what he says was Hamas deliberately sending the wrong remains. The country is now waiting for the release of 6 live hostages. This is going to happen tomorrow, Saturday. This will be the last group of live hostages to be released in phase 1 of the ceasefire agreement. And the big question going forward is, will the 2 parties be able to agree on a phase 2? Hala Garani, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
A major game changer could soon change the way we drive. There's a new device that can force your car to slow down if you go above the speed limit. It's called Intelligent Speed Assistance. A bill before Maryland lawmakers would require the device for any driver convicted of reckless driving or racing. So this uses GPS data to figure out the local speed limits and also read street signs. And depending on how much you're speeding, it'll either give you a warning or just automatically slow down your car. The car slowdown device is already common across much of the European Union. Starting last year, all new vehicles sold in the EU were required by law to have this system.